My name's Hayley Ginn and I studied sports science at a.r.u, and I started that in 2003, graduating in 2006. Mainly because I had a real interest in understanding the human body and how things work. And I was a keen athlete, so I wanted to kind of underpin all of that and understand kind of what I was doing and why, and understand all the intricacies behind it. And I knew I wanted to be involved in sport through my life. I just didn't know in what kind of context that would be. To understand and kind of underpin a lot of the principles I was learning as a coach and an athlete at the time, and help piece together those processes. And it enabled me to learn from things like journals and how to process data and numerous things that have then allowed me to go on and do what I'm doing now. Particularly with regards to my confidence. So during my course, I was constantly kind of thrown in the deep end, if you like, in terms of standing in front of people, speaking, but also multidisciplinary approach as well. So particularly with scenarios where you're having to work with participants or athletes, how to actually manage those scenarios and kind of work with, say, the lecturers, that particular client at the time. And again, that is now what I do, day to day. So it was really fundamental for me with that, in that regard. Presentation skills, the application of kind of data analysis and testing athletes, clients, or whoever you're working with. But most importantly, and more importantly for me now, how you're then applying that and how you're kind of breaking down that data into a way that's kind of understandable and manageable by the athlete or person that you're working with on a day-to-day basis. And that process is something that comes with practice and perseverance and experimenting to some degree as well. But it's helped me an awful lot. If you don't ask, you don't get. Asking questions in the classroom environment, I'd be like, damn, I really need to ask this question, but I feel quite nervous about it. But I'm determined to get the answer to that question. So putting myself in another situation where I can talk to those lecturers at the end of the conference, and just making sure I kind of got myself into that scenario. I am currently self-employed and have my own company called Carbon Motion. I set that up in 2013. The main reason being was to help more amputees within the UK and across the world, to help them learn to run better, and then working with various Paralympic athletes. Alongside that, I also provide athletics coaching. So I'm a sprints coach as well. I've been coaching at Cambridge University Athletics Club for 13 or 14 years now, as their lead or head sprints coach. I've also worked teaching recreational able-bodied runners as well as kind of fitness coaching and more sort of personal training, strength and conditioning side of things. I travel to a lot of my clients to work with them. It's a very, very diverse, which I like. I like the flexibility and the variability in everything. So every day is different. It's really not a 9-to-5 job. So I manage my own time, my own diary, and everybody else's. So all my clients' training, I manage all of that. If I hadn't have done my degree, I really wouldn't have that kind of fundamental pillar that's really enabled and underpinned, and then it's come through and continues to do so in things I'm doing daily.